first point of interest on our tour is our very own Lakeside Arts Centre, which you can see on the left and right of this road. The centre comprises of a theatre, galleries, a museum and cafes, and all are open to the public. Just beyond, to the right, is the University Lake, where you can hire a boat in the summer months to have a go at rowing. We're now leaving the university grounds, and on the right you can see the university tram stop, which takes you into the city. A single is £2.20, or you can get a season card for cheaper travel. Just behind the self-storage is the university's Kings Meadow campus, often known as KMC. The building used to be a TV studio, where lots of 90s shows were filmed, such as Supermarket Sweep, Catchphrase and Crossroads. The campus is now used for administration, but students occasionally visit for exams. If you do have exams at KMC, you'll be sitting them in the studio where the TV shows were all filmed. Originally called Nottingham, meaning the town of a man called Snotter. Thankfully, over time the S was dropped and we're left with the name Nottingham. The first thing everyone thinks about when they hear of Nottingham is Robin Hood. Whether he really existed or not, you can visit some of the places mentioned in the legend. Sherwood Forest, where he is said to have lived with his merry men, is about 20 miles north of the city, so it's a good place for a day trip. We'll also be visiting Nottingham Castle later on in the bus tour, where there's a statue of the outlaw. Finally, there is still a sheriff of Nottingham, but rest assured she does not live up to the bad reputation. Nottingham is also the home place of Boots the chemist, and the first store was opened in the city in 1849. Founders Jesse and Florence Boot donated the land that University Park campus is now based on to the university, and they funded the cost of the original buildings. Before this time, the university was based in the city centre. One of the university halls of residence is named after Florence Boot, and Boots is still one of the major employers in the city. Nottingham is also known for producing lace, which the lace market area of the city centre is named after. It is also known for rally bikes, and there is now some student accommodation called Rally Park on the site of the old factory near Jubilee campus. One thing you might not know about Nottingham is that the whole city is built over the top of ancient man-made caves. These were used as houses, air raid shelters in World War II, and even a tannery for tanning leather. There is a tour of a section of the caves called the City of Caves Tour, which is run from inside the Broadmarsh Shopping Centre, and several of the medieval pubs in the city have their own caves. Generally, if the pub has ye olde at the start, you can assume there are caves in the basement. Nottingham is also well known for its sports. There's something for everyone here. We also have the National Water Sports Centre nearby at Home Perry Point, which has a white water rafting course and regatta lake, as well as the National Ice Centre, which we'll be passing later. We're in now is called West Bridgeford, and it is popular with young professionals and families, with plenty of spaces to eat and drink. It's also home to some of the major sporting attractions in the region. Within just a few hundred yards of each other is the third oldest test match ground in the world, Trent Bridge, and the City Ground, home to two-time European Cup winners Nottingham Forest. There is also the Notts County Ground. We're not heading this way today, but just north of the city centre is where the annual Goose Fair is held each October. This fair has been running since medieval times and is a huge attraction with lots of fairground rides, candy floss and the Nottingham favourite, mushy peas with mint sauce. Nottingham is a foodie heaven, and this area has a couple of the most popular local restaurants. Firstly, there's Annie's Burger Shack, which serves over 30 weird and wonderful burgers. Annie's has been nominated for several awards, and you'll definitely need to book ahead if you want a table. Just beyond Annie's is Oscar and Rose's, which is another popular Nottingham establishment serving excellent pizzas. If you're really hungry, they even have a metre-long pizza. Should be on your left now. Just to the right is the Motorpoint Ice Arena. Ice hockey is a big thing in Nottingham, and the university holds its annual match against Nottingham Trent University here. I've been to a couple and they are excellent, so it's well worth giving them a try. Nottingham also has a local professional ice hockey team called the Panthers, and their matches usually attract huge crowds. You can also go ice skating here, and there is also a concert area which attracts big acts each year. This year they have the X Factor and Strictly tours. The building on the right hand side is the Victoria Centre, which is the main shopping centre in Nottingham. There is also the Broadmarsh shopping centre at the other side of town, which is going through a major redevelopment at the moment. Side down the next street is a statue of the former football manager Brian Clough. There we go. He was one of only 4 managers to have won the English League with 2 different clubs, Nottingham Forest, who he was with for 2 decades, and their rivals Derby County. Up to the Theatre Royal, where you can go and see plays and concerts, and beyond that is a large glass-fronted building called the Corner House, which houses restaurants, mini-golf and a Cineworld cinema. That's on your right now. In the 17th century, so the main part of the castle that we can see today is actually a mansion built shortly after by the Duke of Newcastle. The original castle gate remains though, so you can get an idea of what the original was like. Until recently the castle has been used as a museum and art gallery, but is now closed for 2 years as it is undergoing major redevelopment. You can still see the Robin Hood statue though, which is just to the left of the castle gatehouse. the road next to the castle is the Ye Olde Trip to Jerusalem, which is said to be the oldest inn in England, having opened in 1189. The trip is the home to a supposedly cursed model ship which kills those who attempt to clean it. Slab Square, which is the very centre of the city. Lots of events take place here, like an artificial beach in the summer and a Christmas market with an ice skating rink in winter. There are also regular markets held here. The trams from University Park campus stop here, so you can go from campus to the city centre in about 15 minutes. The impressive building on the square is called the Council House and is used to hold political meetings and the occasional wedding. Fun fact, the bell in the council house is called Little John. Bulletin Hall is a stunning Elizabethan building built in the 1500s and is situated in 500 acres of gardens and parkland. The hall was famously used as Wayne Manor in the 2012 film The Dark Knight Rises, although sadly Batman doesn't really live here as it's now used as a natural history museum. The park and hall are free to enter and it's a lovely place to go for walks or picnics as it's so close to University Park campus. You can even see deer roaming here if you're lucky. If you come when it's winter, you'll also see families sledding down the hill in front of the hall if it's snowed. Several events are held at the park, including the Summer Woollerton Food and Drink Festival. The park is also host to Splendors Festival each year, and this year the main headliners were Below with Faith. This isn't the only music festival held in Nottingham though, as the Dot to Dot Festival is also held in various venues in the city centre in May each year. So Bulletin Hall will be on your left.